the Airbow, a crossbow with a magazine of 6 that was added with the H3 character pack. This is probably one of the strongest bows currently in the game. For all intents and purposes, it will function exactly like the other bows. Very hard hitting with high damage, no issues with stability. I mean, it's a bow, stability is not going to be an issue. With accuracy, it's going to be perfect, and it also has very good concealment, able to reach up to 31 with no downsides whatsoever. So here are the base stats of the weapon, and as you can see, it's clearly similar to the other bows that we already have in the game. The main difference being that, well, this one sports the lowest damage of the bunch actually, at 700. Now, I say only 700 damage, but that's still higher than any other weapon in the game, and even on 1 down difficulty, it'll be able to one-shot enemies without the need of damage increasing skills. Of course, the real kicker is just the magazine. It's pretty much the pay-to-win version of the pay-to-win bows, as everyone so loves to call them. So I'm not going to argue it, the bows are stupidly good for what they are. Like I said, even on 1 down difficulty, where with any other weapon, you're going to struggle finding setups that will let you kill enemies with only 1 shot. Bows have the intrinsic ability to do so without any outside help. And while this bow in particular may sport the lowest damage of the bunch, it literally makes no difference for the most part. That number is just there to make people feel better about the bow not being blatantly better than the rest of the bows. Even though it still kind of is. There's pretty much no reason to use like the Plains Rider or the light crossbow when you have this crossbow with a 6-shot magazine. That magazine is crazy. You have 6 shots before you need to reload, and the rate of fire is decent enough to pump out shots super fast, and even the reload is very quick in itself. So there's no downsides to having the magazine on the gun. Personally, if I want to use a bow, I don't see any other reason to touch the other ones. Now, that mainly goes for how this bow compares to the other bows. If we're just going to talk about how the Airbow is for general play, there are a few things I'd like to say. It's very clearly a strong weapon for use on higher difficulties like 1 down or Death Wish due to the one-shot potential without the need for a specific build. And really, I think the reason why it's most useful is just the versatility you have. You can spec for a survivability only build. You can go full armor and health, maybe get some jokers and the like. Or you can go for the opposite, a full damage build. Maybe some crits, maybe berserker, really make the bow stupid strong. Or anything in between. You can pretty much build any way you like. And with the Airbow, it has the added benefit of being able to be modded with a sight, too, Most of the other bows, they don't have sights, they're bows. And while the iron sights for this Airbow, they're not really terrible, this can help, I guess, if you plan on using the bow for long range and you need something with better magnification, or you just want a better view to see the enemies. And while all evidence points to these types of weapons being overpowered, I guess, with the Airbow specifically being better than the other bows, I think there's still plenty of other builds out there that are much more efficient and better suited for high difficulty play. And, off the top of my head, a lot of those setups are free too. You don't really need DLC. Stuff like a crit pistol setup, or maybe a Berserker shotgun setup, or a Berserker Gallant M308 build. There's a lot of efficient setups out there, because while the Airbow and the bows in general can be good, they kind of fall under that jack of all trades, master of none category. They got high damage and they can one-shot the weaker enemies, but they may still have some trouble killing some specials in a timely manner. And the bows, they're decent for mid-range, but can't really shoot stuff too far away since the arc becomes unreliable after a certain distance. That makes them very useless against things like snipers that are sitting like 3 buildings away. And it's also bad for chaining kills back to back. Even with the magazine, it's not very easy to clear large waves of enemies in a timely manner. And as a bow itself, it has the added difficulty of being a projectile-based weapon, not a hit scan. That makes it harder to land shots on moving enemies, as well as enemies that are outside of its effective range. So, all in all, it's a decent weapon. It definitely feels better than any of the other bows we have in the game, but that's mainly just because of the magazine. It's the perfect weapon for a lazy person that doesn't want to try to make any specific builds, or, it's perfect for someone trying to maybe level and they don't have access to all the skill points yet. Or maybe, hell, I don't know, you just like the bows and you think it's fun. Something that's been absent in my life for way too long.